Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the All About Paisley podcast. We have Rachel and we have Dan, our special guest. Unfortunately, we're missing Craig because he's really busy editing, and we just needed to give him a wee bit of a breather. So he's much missed. But apart from, he's just going to drop in some pies just now. So we got a review section. He's going to heat them up. So
they're not ready. My goodness.
So Paisley Pie Company has wonderfully given us some pies to try. I'm not sure what pies are what, so there'll be a bit of a lottery at the same time. But just want to welcome our wonderful guest, Dan Reynolds. Dan, I believe, is quite a legend in town. The amount of stuff he does is unbelievable.
There we go.
Welcome, Dan, to the podcast. Yes.
Thank you.
So a wee intro.
Sorry, I didn't supposed to twice.
Yeah, she's broken. I think you're getting barred from the buttons already. Just straight in.
Button happy.
You know, I'm jealous. I just want to be the button pusher. I'd probably be just as bad. So we intro about Dan. Dan has been active for about 4 years, is that right?
4 years.
And been writing and producing for 3 years.
Yep.
We will have a conversation about you're in season 2 of A True Mismatch, which is a Paisley filmed Victorian piece TV programme based in London.
Yes. So we're still on season 1.
Oh yes.
We're still on season 1, and we use Paisley as our filming location because of the authenticity of it.
Oh yes, we'll talk about a wee bit of that. Yeah. And the other thing is you do your Sma Shot actors based themed Halloween show. Yes. Which is in year 3,
yes,
and been sold out 3 years in a row.
Yes, well, so we do at the cottages we do like a Halloween immersive experience, which is really, really kind of popular in the theatre business these days. It's only really been sort of popular in the last sort of 5 years, and we done it first year running for 4 nights just to see how it went, and it sold out. So we've basically done it ever since, really.
Amazing, yeah. So and again, it's been sold out each time. So very, very popular. And what you do is epic, Dan. You know, I can't thank you enough for all the legendary stuff you do in town. It's quite sensational.
Thanks.
And I've been to it both years, so it was really funny. I won't ruin it for anybody, but there was one bit where we were upstairs in the cottage and looking around like, oh, there's nowhere anybody can jump out and scare you here. This seems quite safe. And then from behind the curtain, somebody jumped out.
Amazing.
So totally not expecting it.
A different show each year?
No, so the first 2 years, so the first year, it was our first time. So we done it that time, and then I made some slight changes the second year. But this year, is changed completely.
Oh yeah.
I think there's maybe one scene that we've kept from last year.
Amazing.
But even that we've changed it because of the way the script's written.
Right.
So and there is some very famous Paisley celebrities in it as well this year. So,
oh really? Oh.
So as in from the past we're talking about. I'm not going to give you any
amazing.
This is why you need to come to it.
We don't know which button's the heartbeat. I think it's the red one.
Oh, it's one of these loaded. Oh yes, I got it right.
Just when you thought it was safe to go on a Sma Shot.
But no, I remember the guys with the cloaks and the hooded cloaks and everything, and they came right up. They were so creepy. They were really creepy, but it was really, really good. We really enjoyed
fantastic.
it, and we went. So we're hoping to go again this year.
So how would people enter? There's an Eventbrite, is that right?
Yes. So that's the only way you can buy your tickets. The reason for that being is so we can keep track of ticket sales.
You just want a single source. It gets complicated if there's too many ways.
And also we have a maximum of 20 people per tour.
Right.
Because otherwise it starts getting crammed. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been to them, and obviously the space is quite crammed.
Yeah, there's quite narrow spaces.
And there's 4. How many nights are you doing it for?
8.
this year.
8. Whoa.
8. So I had to.
That's amazing.
It's just the way the Paisley Halloween Festival is falling on that weekend, but then Halloween is actually on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Which is the week after. So, and we've already got, I think, 6 sold out shows already.
6 over halfway there. Bon Jovi and that. Well done, Dan. That's amazing.
Pretty much. So I would say probably by this weekend coming, we'll probably have sold half our tickets.
So definitely get a ticket if you've not. I mean, it's not to be missed. Genuinely, you'll kick yourself if you've not. And do you think you'll be able to keep that consecutive? I mean, I think that's you now locked into place.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's so popular, but again, it's because you do get the same people that. I mean, Rachel went 2 years in a row. So when you're an organizer like that, you also have to take into perspective that people are going to come back. So you also want to make changes. But then also the second year, I think 90% of the people that came to the second year had never come before, even to the cottages, by the way, as well. So it's introducing a new audience for them as well. So
amazing. Yeah, and just the spookiness of the Sma Shot Cottages alone, never mind your actors involved, this must be really creepy.
Well, I've been in there, do forgive me to the cottage staff about this, but I've been in there at like 1 o'clock in the morning,
right?
After we'd done some filming, and obviously, we were looking up or whatever, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
One of the ladies that came with me last year, she's like, oh, I can feel the energy, like just it was coming from it, like and I was kind of like, really, and she was like, oh yeah, it's really authentic, and she really.
So take us back in that journey of how you first get into acting.
Oh right, okay. So I'd always been. So I taught street dance in Johnston for about 10 years.
Okay.
Wow.
So
if we had the space, there's a wee corner, but I don't think it's enough.
I always say this. I'm retired now. I'm 33 now, so I'm retired. But so I've always been into performing. I love performing. And then a friend and I, we were in Ibiza on the beach in Ibiza, and we were both in a difficult space at the time. We were kind of both thinking, we were in our mid-20s, and we were both thinking, what direction are we going in at the moment? And then he told me what he wanted to do, and he's now a police officer. So
was that what you wanted to do, and then he inspired and he done? Oh, well done, yeah.
So he's now a police officer,
right.
And that's what he wanted to do. And then I said, I want to be an actor. So I ended up studying. I joined Langside College, which is a very well-established acting college, which a lot of people end up going to RCS or end up then going into actually film and TV. There's some people just now. I mean, Richard Rankin, who was Roger in Outlander.
Okay.
He studied at Langside College. So there was a lot of people coming out of it. So I wanted to study there. So I studied there for 3 years, and then lockdown happened, so I didn't get the graduation. So I was there from 2017 till 2020. So I really wrapped up in February time it was, March, when lockdown happened. Yeah. And then obviously I got myself an agent, which was great. But then obviously work wasn't available because of lockdown still. And then I just went into starting to write because I had a lot of time on my hands. And then that's when I kind of started writing A True Mismatch.
Amazing. And what if you could summarize what the True Mismatch is without any spoilers?
So it really is a period drama. It's a mini series of class divide, murder.
Oh wow!
And all the good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think and love and love between a love between there's a love triangle between a rich man, a poor man, and a very rich woman who's in the middle. But she's quite, she's quite powerful, and she's really determined. She really wants to kind of go out and really kind of explore the world. She doesn't want to follow. She's very much a modern day woman in Victorian times, and that's what we really wanted. Alice, who is the main character, who's played by the wonderful Nina Gray, by the way.
Yes, I interviewed Nina a while back.
Yes,
she's amazing.
So
and the cast, they're all brilliant.
Yeah,
you're such an ensemble cast of such amazing people as well.
And how do you watch it? How can we watch it?
So so we're technically unsolicified. So we are on Prime Video, so you can watch the first 2 episodes on Prime Video, but you have to pay for it. We have just wrapped episode 3. That should be out on Prime Video very soon. Okay. And we've also received funding from an American executive producer to start filming episode 4, which we plan to start filming, which is going to be the final episode of the season 1. As I say, it's just a mini series. It's just going to be 4 episodes. And we hopefully will start filming that hopefully Christmas, January time.
And are all your locations in Paisley?
90% of them are. We use the Old Town the Old Town prison in Stirling.
Oh, okay, yeah,
we use that, and New Lanark as well.
Okay,
New Lanark.
So just a minute. So you nibblitis already. So the wonderful Scott McGinley had given us some amazing pies that Craig has started munching in already. Yes, fantastically. Gave us 5 or 6. Did you cut them into bits as well?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh, brilliant.
It's like a wee pie buffet.
It is.
It is. Oh, you can pie.
Ooh.
Scotch pie. Oh, look at that.
Thanks very much, Scott. So this is our first forks as well.
Thank you.
This is our first official reviews on the Paisley, All About Paisley podcast.
If I was in the house,
Thank you,
I'd probably
thank
eat this with my fingers, but I better.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what I was thinking.
What did your fork for?
Yeah. Apologies for missing the podcast, folks, but I'm busy heating up pies.
Yes.
I don't like it.
And I've already eaten one.
What did you have?
What did you
The
have?
cheesy nacho one's the best pie ever. I'm going to...
Uh-oh.
Right,
I'll order that
okay.
in bulk.
that
This
looks like
is
a
going
Trasney
to
one.
be...
I'll go and get some...
Is that a chicken tikka?
But the important thing is that you've managed to crowdfund them all, which is a very crowdfunding can be really difficult to do because I'm always quite impressed how well you've managed to achieve that because it's really not the easiest thing to do. It's all about your marketing of these kind of things.
Yeah.
and that's legendary alone. The fact that you've managed to get it all self-funded that way has been absolutely amazing. So
Thank you.
And regards to, I just wanted to talk about other locations you were thinking of using in town. Like you've used the Coates building yet? That's
Not yet, but we.
Thank you.
So I can't obviously for
Spoiler.
obvious for obvious reasons.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, lovely. For obvious reasons, I can't really speak too much about the upcoming episodes that are due to be released in the next kind of few months to a year. But yeah, we used Oakshore Trinity Church for the graveyard scene in episode 2.
Sorry, I got a big mouth. It's all right.
That's all right.
It's all going in.
I actually went there and as part of Doors Open Day to the Oakshire Trinity Church.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
It's lovely.
I mean, there's one of the shots that you see, and it actually says the birthplace of the person who died. So you get to see Paisley on it.
Yeah. Okay.
But we kind of used it as a graveyard in London.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Because the majority of our audience are American.
Okay.
So our biggest market is America, because we got a I got a journalist from MovieWeb, who is which is a massive American
movie website.
Website
Review site type thing.
Correct. Yeah,
Right,
and they
publication.
got in contact with me. He's based in New York, and he'd said, "I absolutely love what you guys have done."
Amazing. Yeah, it's epic.
With such a small budget as well, and they ended up doing you can actually go onto it on Google. If you type in A True Mismatch MovieWeb, you can see the review he gave to us.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really good.
And you get analytics from Amazon to find out all that kind of amazing. What pie did you have?
So I'm this is the what is this one again? Is this like the nacho? This is the nacho cheese.
I've always wanted to be a food reviewer. Well, I had the pizza, and I have to say it's absolutely exquisite.
Oh my goodness,
it was lovely. So the pizza one was lovely, and that's the nacho one. What do you have, Rachel? You have a wee Scotch pie one.
I'm having the Scotch pie right now, which is delicious, and I had I had
no doubt there would all be
the nacho. What is it? Got chicken in it too? That one.
The nacho.
Yeah. It was lovely. It was really nice. I'd love to say something like really decadent about it, but I don't know. I don't have the right words, and I'm just enjoying it too much. So.
Nuances.
Honestly, right? My go-to curry is chicken chasney.
Oh yeah,
right, and that looks like a chicken chasney pie, right? I'm gonna have to.
I think that one is definitely cracking in that.
Oh my goodness! Here we
This
go.
is the pizza
I'm
one.
going to fight you for it, Dan.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh right.
Oh
Okay.
no, we can have
Arm wrestle.
There's only one winner there, Rachel. There's definitely not me. Right.
But I'm the same as you.
Is that your go-to curry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, mine's is either a Rogan Josh or a Madras.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, really, you could put. I know we've had this discussion before about what you could put in pies, but really, the world is your oyster. Can you not just put anything? Or is there certain things you can't? Maybe we need to ask Scott that question.
Pie potential.
maybe it doesn't work. Certain things don't work. But
well, once we get Scott in, we'll definitely get an
you.
understanding of his system of how he figures out. Because I think it's a revolving menu. I know it's not. It changes all the time. So.
My God, that is incredible.
Oh yeah. So 2 thumbs up from everyone so far. I had no doubt.
I know I'm not on the podcast, but I need to eat something.
that's amazing.
Oh yeah, get in. I'll have a wee bit of the Scotch one.
Oh.
You can have
So
something
just to
my plate if you want.
just to make the correction, so Scott McGinley's family butchers, the Graham's Butchers in Welsh Street, and also I don't know the second address, but definitely Wells Street. But I couldn't remember the family butchery that he came from. The last couple of was it 2 episodes. So the problem with always being a week ahead of yourself or in advance, that was 2 episodes ago, because we've already had the Provost on. So thanks very much for being our second guest, by the way.
Anytime.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Also, if there's any other time you want to come on, it's hopefully it should be quick. What the plan I have is, how when you get the real radio phone in, and then anytime picks up the phone and was like real radio, I want to go and pick a random person in the street and get them in the podcast, because you don't know anybody's story. They could be fascinating.
You're right. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get well known enough that we'll maybe have a branded T-shirt, and then we go up to somebody and somebody's like really wanting, pick me. So as long as they're sober, not under the influence, I think that could be really fascinating. Trying to find somebody.
Could also be very interesting.
Exactly. Well, that as well. That's the After Dark show.
More?
Oh, wow.
Right, who wants what?
Well, Paisley Pie Company, absolutely.
Oh yes, thank you so much. They're delicious.
Yeah.
I know I need to go in.
Delicious.
I don't know if we spoke about last time they do it. They're doing a wee afternoon tea thing, and you get wee mini pies and sandwiches and cakes.
What do you call it? The floor, the layers.
Yeah, the tiers.
Even the Scotch pie is amazing.
They were lovely.
That's epic.
I feel like it shouldn't go to waste. But
So if you want us to review anything else,
I'm going to have one more then. Here we go.
if you want us to review anything else, you reach out to Rachel at paisleyheritage.org.uk.
yeah, and I'll just review everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we had no doubt that it was going to be epic. He does so well, and all of his videos are epic, and the whole town has got behind it. It's just amazing.
Amazing.
And I think a lot of influencers have came into town specifically just to review the pie. So he's arguably bringing people to the town just in his content alone, which is wonderful.
And people come from really far away. There was one day I was in the shop. I'm sure they were saying that was it Falkirk or something. I can't remember.
really?
But people come from quite far. Travel quite a distance to get there.
That was delicious, by the way.
That was. We'll be nibbling through the rest of the podcast. So we do a wee bit of news, or what have we got? We'll just talk about events.
Yeah, so some of the events that we... So I've not got back to my face, have I?
Nope. Wouldn't tell you if you did.
I just finished this. So through the Paisley Heritage Group, we had a guided tour of Paisley Abbey on Saturday. So
Epic.
And I wasn't actually at it myself, but I have been on it before. But everybody that went really loved it, and it's the guides that take them. So I believe it was Elizabeth. Oh gosh, I can't remember all the names now. Was there a George? There was quite a few guides. Linda.
They do really well in the Abbey. They're very welcoming as you come in, give you the wee self tour. The mouse tour. I go to my daughters all the time, find the mice, and they change the location all the time, which is really helpful. They're amazing.
But this was an actual a guided tour, and it goes into. I know the one I went on certainly last year. They go into a lot of detail, a lot of in-depth history about it. So if you're really interested in that, then go along. So they do the guided tours a Tuesday and a Thursday, and they cost £5. But if you want to go a different time, you can't go. So we had requested could a group of us come on a Saturday, so they did accommodate that. So that they are very accommodating. And yeah, as far as I know, everybody really enjoyed it and really loved it. And obviously visually, it's stunning as well.
That's the best. The amount of people have never been in the Abbey. Come on, get in the Abbey. And the Coates as well. Obviously the Coates isn't open as much as the Abbey, and hopefully we can help facilitate that with the ongoing tours. So, but they're both majestic buildings. They're both breathtaking. They've just got this aura and ambience about them that only just such a decorative building could have. Building 1163. That's a mental figure. Obviously, arguably, not all of it is as old as that. I think it's the West Wing as you're walking past it. Those doors are the oldest bit. But I'm convinced there's a Da Vinci Code type thing in the Abbey somewhere.
You have to go. You have to go. I think you can see it in photographs, and you think, "Oh, wow, that looks stunning." But I think until you're in there and you're standing there, and it's kind of like you're at that.
Even the ceilings, all these hieroglyphs,
stunning.
And they
Holy Grail. Holy Grail.
Have that mirror as well that lies flat, and it's so that you can see the ceiling. And I shared that picture, and someone, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's a mirror. And they were like, what's it? And I was like, to show the pattern on the ceiling, so the design of the ceiling. So
it's epic.
Another event we had this week was we had a talk by a local author, Jeff Holmes, on his book 16 Inkle Street.
Yeah.
So there was a murder that took place there back in 1924. So it was really interesting, his talk. I've read the book. Unfortunately, the book is now out of print, and I don't think they're going to be printing anymore. But he did have a couple. It's funny, he had a couple in his car, and he said to people, if you want to follow me to my car, after, and you can get a copy of my book.
Not even a digital version, not on the go.
Don't think so. The libraries have got it because somebody had said to me they were going to get it from the library. But yeah, it's a really. I won't say too much about it in case people are going to read it, but it's about a really tragic murder that took place. But I know when I read it, I actually ended up feeling sorry for the murderer. So,
really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I guess that's some good writing when that happens.
Well, that's exactly what Jeff said. So.
Speaking of which, I was watching that Eric and Lyle Menendez.
Oh, yes.
Have you watched that yet?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. So episode 5, you need to watch it, right? It's a whole episode of just slowly cutting, just panning in. And they're in a prison and the lawyer's talking to the guy about everything that had happened leading up to it. And I had to watch it again. Was that just one shot? It was about 30 minute to 30, maybe 40 minute slowly panning the whole episode and the emotions he went through. It was probably one of the most amazing TV programs episodes of anything you're ever going to see.
Wow.
But yeah, so they killed their parents.
And it was for money. I mean, really, it was for money. I've not watched it all yet, and I know they're still in prison. The truth, aren't they?
So there was a wee bit of controversy that they'd accused their parents of doing stuff to them in their youth.
Oh no, hang on! I have seen this. I have seen it. Yeah. It's the two brothers, right?
Two brothers.
Yes, I have seen some of it. Yeah. My fiance
and I
watched
think
it.
there's
Yeah.
a documentary coming out about it next week as well.
I need to watch the episode 5. I was blown away just with. I had to watch it again. Was that just one take? The whole take. It didn't cut away or anything. Just the whole episode is one take.
I've not got to that one yet, but
episode 5, you'll be blown away. I just need to make sure people watch it just for that very reason.
Yeah, and then other things that we've got coming up. We've got a tour of the Paisley Threadmill Museum. So again, if you've not been to that, I've been a couple of times now, and every time I go, it's a different volunteer that talks, and I find out something different every time. But again, it's fascinating just to. And
they're a lovely bunch as well.
There's so much to see there as well, and you don't probably appreciate how much there is to see.
Yeah,
until
that's
you're
right.
kind of there and you're seeing everything.
What's your favourite building in town? Do you know?
Oh my, Gavin, why have you done that? If I don't say the cottages, the ladies are they're gonna get. But what is my favourite?
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, please. Yeah, give me a few minutes for that.
Because you ask this as a membership question before you join the group, don't you? Like the Paisley Heritage Group.
That's
and
right.
I remember when I was joining, I was like, I don't know, because there's so many.
There is so
and I was like,
many,
is there
yeah.
a right answer or a wrong answer? Will I not get in if I say?
Gavin, I too much pressure.
Yeah.
It's really just to make sure that spammers, because some people just say library. You can tell, hospital. There's people trying to come in and get everybody's details. You'd be surprised the amount of people. So obviously there's a page in the group, and the group's got 11,000 people, and maybe about half the people that try and join need to be declined. Facebook must have some really interesting statistics with all the different people trying to hack people and all that. And usually we do quite well. But then sometimes the problem is somebody's password's not protected enough, and then they become a spammer. Somebody in the group, and that's always been a member for like 4 years, and now they're going to get chucked out because they've lost access to their. It's crazy world.
Okay. But I love it when people put their favourite building, my house, because quite a lot of people just
Sky
put
Crescent.
my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I suppose.
Why not? My favourite building in town, quite literally.
And we've got Graham's historical walking tour as well on the 20th of October. That's a Sunday, so it's been really popular.
That has been really popular.
Well.
Definitely go along to that if you're not. Graham's epic, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
It's a lovely overview of everything.
Yeah.
And everybody's, that's the one international people came to as well. So he's kind of our headline tour individual. He's been a tour individual since the 60s and the 70s.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He might not want you to say that and give away his age, but anyway.
Well, he had a time machine. And we done a student tour. So we've done a student tour with My Pad Paisley, the accommodation.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yep.
Yeah, so all the new students that went to town, we've done a wee tour with them just to let them know their surroundings, So really epic stuff to be able to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing we've got is the tour of Tanna Hills Cottage. So they don't normally open up to the public, but I had said to them, would you do this for us? So hoping it might become a regular thing. Rather than, they open for Doors Open Day. I think they open for their events. It's the Paisley Burns Club that look after it and run it. So we're going in the 26th of October, so we're all quite excited.
Yeah.
That's just while you mentioned that famous poet.
Oh yes,
I'm just going to give you a little insight to this year's tour.
Oh yes,
he could be possibly one person that you might be meeting in our Halloween tour.
Mr. Robert Tannehill.
So yeah, just wait and see. Come to it, and you'll be able to see.
Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah, maybe we could speak to the people at Tannehill Cottage, and we could do some Halloween.
Yeah,
next year.
They're very rarely opened. So, one of our plans is to go in and help charities, because charities can't really make money themselves. So we could go in and sell the tickets and then give them a donation, just to help people out. Because we've got the numbers, and I always say to people, if we're not trying to share that, then we don't really deserve it. So it's trying to make sure that everyone's involved, and share that marketing, and we can go in and make crazy videos and drone shots and time lapse stuff. And
you love drones. I watched the last episode, and
I
mentioned it. Push a button. Red. Push the button that mentions the drone. Do you know what the drone's called?
What?
Droney McFly.
Oh wow!
Like Back to the Future, he's the McFly.
My goodness.
Sorry. you ever played with a drone?
For our concept trailer of A True Mismatch, we actually had a drone shot. You can actually see it on YouTube of a Victorian, one of the kid actors we hired from Johnston. Right. He must have been about 7 or 8 at the time. He was running up the
embankment of some kind.
Yeah, see where Stony Brae is. You see the one that goes down towards where the court is.
Oh yes,
it's up that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we had
the handlebars, the black. Anyway.
Yes, that one. Yeah. And it's a bit overgrown now.
Yes.
A little bit.
Oh, I think, did it not get cleared? I thought
that's great.
I saw a picture, something, or maybe it wasn't that one, but I'm sure something had been cleared, and I was like, oh, I thought it was there, but maybe not.
We've used that location, I think, in 3 or 4 of our shots.
Okay.
With the drone shot, it's very much following the boy running up and from above. I'll show you at some point today.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that sounds epic. Because this is amazing flying.
Drones, a bit of a drone.
Sorry.
Drones featured in every single episode we've had so far. We're going to have a drone.
We're going to have a drone day. I'm going to get some drone pilots on, and we're just going to drone. It just feels amazing.
Off when they get so technical.
It's like a wee mini helicopter.
It is.
16 miles per hour. We'll take it on the move. We're going to be a POV. We'll go out one day and we'll give you, because you can't. Drones are. We're still talking about it.
We are. Yeah.
The sensors are okay that you shouldn't really be able to bash into anything. So we'll give you a wee drone shot at some.
I'll probably love it once after I've gone into it all the time. I'll probably actually like.
And we're nowhere near an airport anyway. Let's be honest.
I know. Well, so my original drone was like 5 miles within. So it doesn't. They don't fly. So I had to contact Civil Aviation Authority.
Yeah.
We're still talking about drones, and I needed to get permission. So I needed to get permission from Civil Aviation Authority. Then I had to contact the manufacturer to then get a firmware update. To then the drone would actually work. So it's a whole thing in itself. Obviously you need to contact the airport and the police. And the battery would last about 20 minutes, and it's a lot of hassle for a 20-minute flight. So obviously usually have 2 drones. Anyway, that's the end of drones. Okay. Thank you.
We've got Craig is signalling to us.
Any other events in the horizon?
I think that's everything at the moment, but obviously we've been in talks with people about other possible events. So we've been talking to Karen Finney at the Fox and Hounds about a possible whiskey tasting tour.
Whiskey tasting?
Yes. And
yes. So they were lovely, lovely people.
Yeah, we went to see them the other day, and they were telling us about the ghost. They've got a ghost there.
They do have a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so quite a lot of conversations about that. So they were lovely, and they pretty much said if we could facilitate an event that can have food and drink, they'll come along and help us out.
They do catering,
and we could use the place for space. So they're like a partner that if we could think of something, they'll be there. So.
And they've got a barbecue spot outside, like an actual proper barbecue area, and it's got the gazebo, and they'd had a whiskey fair the day before we had went, so the gazebo's up. But it would be great for some sort of
and the building was built in the 1700s. I can't remember the exact date. But it was a lovely build, really a lot of floors to it, like 2 or 3 floors. It's out in Houston. So we
it's Houston, not Houston. Not
Houston, is it? So
wait a minute.
Not Houston, Texas. Houston, Renfrewshire.
What is the difference there?
Not Houston.
So I've got an English accent, obviously. So how would I say it? Houston.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Try it again, Gavin.
Oh no, everybody's watching.
No pressure, Gavin.
Houston.
No, Houston.
Houston. Like a Houston.
Yes.
Why? It's still spelt the same way. So wait a minute. So it's 2 words spelled the exact same way, but we just decide to who it up.
Yeah, So
Hugh. It's a stinker.
Yeah, so Gavin's things that he says was that, what was it? Somebody was
no.
alive as an ancestor. of the
an
descent.
ancestor.
An
Just collecting all
ancestor
these
of the-
wrongisms.
Yeah, the Coates family were like,
Make 'em
no,
own
no,
words.
they're a descendant. They're not an ancestor.
Yeah.
'Cause
So one of the guests is going to be a descendant of the Clarks. So we found a descendant of the Clarks. You know, the Coates and Clarks. She's going to come
Yeah,
to talk. But I was calling him a descendant hundreds of times.
Ah, right.
And Liz
You're an
Gardner.
ancestor. You were saying an ancestor, but they're a descendant.
Just getting it wrong. All the
Then
live all
Muriel,
day.
Paisley murals.
I
I'm
just-
like, no, it's a mural.
Can't be holding all the cards. Come on.
Funnily enough, in that talk last night, Jeff Holmes, he was talking about a mural, and he said a muriel, and I was like, oh, Gavin says that too. So yeah, you're not the only person.
I haven't tried that word yet since we were filming the Teardrop event, and one of the artists pointed out, and I still couldn't get it right at the time. So just one of these words, I'm just going to avoid it. Just side step and just keep on going.
Yeah.
So is that all the? I think that's all the events.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then obviously we spoke to Liz from the Two Towns Down Brewery, if I
yes.
got that right.
Renfrewshire's only brewery.
Yes. So that's another
Launching mid-November.
another tour that we're
So
looking
it's
at
just getting
doing,
these
so.
experiences as well as tour things. So
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, maybe talk to Abercorn Dairies about a milk coming in, seeing how milk works and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's only literally around
Across the
corner,
road,
isn't it?
yes,
It's across
that's
the
just
road,
genuinely across the road. So, and there's no stopping. You know, it's just setting these foundations and just keeping building, and it's all doing really well. We can't say it's not. And
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're really lucky. Yeah.
and lots of hard work, as you'd imagine, behind the scenes, trying to figure out the logistics of, you know, tour guides and solicitors and business plans and lions and tigers and bears. And I think we're averaging about 3-4 meetings a day.
Busy.
So busy, but it's so rewarding. It's moving forward. It's good. It is amazing. And I guess the Paisley Art Institute event. So we were trying to think, you know, there were obviously it's a highly political scenario that we don't really want to get involved with at all in the slightest. But we just thought maybe there was an opportunity for to work with the Paisley Art Institute and hopefully let people see the art that's on display. So we have, and that'll probably potentially be a long term thing ongoing. So Saturday morning about 10, you could pop down to the Paisley Art Institute and Glasgow Art Club and visit the art. So they've got hundreds of different art bits in there. It's absolutely amazing. So we will be having a wee promo video. You know what I mean? Craig are going down to film, to talking to camera, you know, stuff like that, and launch that. So quite pleased about that because it's just ticking a box. So there's the art stuff done as well.
Yeah.
Nothing safe for
we
Paisley Heritage.
I've never been, but it'll be really interesting.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, like a wee grand piano and everything. I played the piano.
wow. Oh,
I
do you?
played, yeah, when I was a fat specky Trekkie in high school and I had no social skills. And you know, you try and do karate.
Still don't have any, Gavin.
No,
I'm only joking.
can't be holding all the cards. So I tried like karate and BB and trying to fit into one, and then I tried piano. So I played the piano from 7 to about 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I went to this youth drop-in called the Firehouse. It was all your kind of metalers and punks and goths when I was a teenager. So then you don't get anywhere playing the piano. So I then picked the guitar up and I got a banjo when I was 21. So I could play the 5-6 musical instruments.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Keep on going to my neighbours. This partially filled out ASBO form. Just sign there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get we sold the piano eventually when my wife fell pregnant, and I was going to be a dad for the first time. I was too busy freaking out. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a dad. So my wife says, yeah, there's no space. We need to sell the piano. Yeah, sell the piano. Yeah. And it wasn't until years down the line, I was like, a baby's this big. You made me sell that piano. So so we're 3 up. So you could usually get a piano for free because you need to pay for the removal. So I'm convinced one day she's just going to come home and a piano's going to be there. Whoa, how'd that get there? What are we going to do with that? She knows it as well. I tell her. She asks me every Christmas, would you want for Christmas? I said, a trombone.
Trombone.
Because it's, you know, you don't need to play with the notes. It's just low and high, and my poor neighbours.
So Dan, are you in? See the Sma Shot Halloween experience. Are you playing a part in it? I know you've been in it.
I am, yes.
I know you've been in it before.
So I last year I played Donovan the Gravedigger.
Yes.
So
remember now. I
so
remember.
obviously during the 19th century, there was a lot of people digging up graves to sell them to scientists. Obviously you got the famous brothers in Edinburgh.
Yeah,
What are their names again?
Burkin here.
Yeah, that's it.
What a pair.
So I actually I based the character off them because I went through to Edinburgh maybe a few months before, and that's when I found out that story. I thought, that'd be good to put that into there.
Yeah.
This year, I'm playing one of the robbers in the alleyway this year. No, I shouldn't really have said that.
No, now we'll be looking out for you.
But yeah, so you'll but there's some new characters this year. the story's different. It's based on. I'm going to get carried away here because I loved this year. When I was writing it, I fell in love with it.
Amazing.
It's all linked well, and I'm not going to give too much.
No. So just to talk about grave robbers, back in the day we used to have cages over graves so people didn't steal them. And the whole reason with grave robbers is when back in the day when doing autopsies and stuff like that, we're trying to figure out the bodies, there was no anaesthetic.
Yeah.
So they used to get famous people would they used to be able to chop off a limb with under a minute. So people would come and observe. So it was like an Olympic sport, trying to see how quickly people could do these operations. Mm-hmm. And obviously I had no clue about bodies, and it must have been a crazy time. Oh, nearly swore there, but crazy bottom time. Or nearly our first swear word.
I don't know if you know about these things that you can go to in Glasgow. I want to say a live autopsy, which kind of sounds stupid because obviously the person's not alive. But it's like you can go to these events, you can pay money and see all the bodies.
Wasn't there a crazy guy with nerves on TV at one point? You could see all these body bits.
Yeah, I think
there was.
I think there was a TV show. Yeah, there was something. Was it Channel 4, Channel 5? But it's quite expensive. But there's part of me kind of thinks, but then you think, would I actually go and then go, just that kind of
morbid interest.
Yes, I'm sure I know somebody that went and she shared pictures of it, and she, this is someone's brain, and we're like, okay, and this is their lungs, and so you can go and you can. Yeah, they have it.
I remember in primary school they brought in a goat's lung in primary school and they deflated it.
I remember that. It's in high school. This was like 20 years ago for me.
Yeah, did you used to dissect I don't think when I was at high school
I think that's more American.
Or a bull's eye or bull's eye or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what they do that here? I don't know that.
I think I don't know. I don't
know if you can do that anymore.
I don't think so. No, I don't remember doing it in my time. But maybe my
things
brother.
have changed nowadays.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm still enjoying my pies.
Yeah, sorry, we shouldn't be talking about these things while we're eating.
Doesn't put me off really. So and is it the same cast members?
So I tend to hire the same people. Yeah, so sometimes obviously this is the third year running, so I do get one or two that can't do it because there's maybe another job.
Yeah.
Because Panto season really starts kind of towards the end of Halloween, beginning of November. So some people are obviously working full time. I want to take a wee bit of a break first before they go into Panto season. So a lot of the actors that I have been with me since day one. So and some of them are playing. Obviously, they'll be playing different characters this year, and they are all really looking forward to it.
I've seen summer pantos are a thing as well now.
Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've not seen them.
Oh no, they're not.
I've seen them advertised, and I thought, that's that different.
There's a lot of pop up theatre now, which is really good.
Amazing.
It's really. I mean, this is since I graduated from Langside College. The only theatre really I do at the moment is immersive experience theatre, just because I love taking audience members in authentic places and making them feel like they're back in that time, if you know what I mean. So rather than being on the stage and being in the seat and watching it, I like the audience to be involved in it. I mean, there's going to be a scene in this year's one where the audience are going to be a bit more involved. We are, obviously, you've been to them, so the audience does get involved a lot.
Yes.
But we want the audience to be more involved in this. So, when kids come in, we dress the kids up in Victorian stuff. Obviously, this year we're sort of 8 years and above, which most of the time kids that age will come to it anyway. We've had one or two that have come in and just gone, no. But apart from that,
does everyone have to break character at that point?
Yeah. Well, we actually, I could tell you a funny story. Actually, I'll do forgive me to the audience member about this. But we were doing an alleyway scene in the first year, and I think a woman had. Because obviously it's the Halloween festival, people are out drinking, and then they'll come in, and then they'll go to the festival and then come see us, or vice versa. And there was a woman who'd obviously just gone out for food and maybe had something that disagreed with her stomach. So we were mid-performance and she went, sorry guys, I think I'm going to be sick. and then we went out of character. We took her to the toilet, and then we came back, and then we went to the audience. Right, where were we? Oh, there we go. And we went straight back into it again.
Went a wee bit Exorcist all of a sudden.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Talking of immersive theatre, I went to a thing last year. I think it was the Train Spotting immersive thing. Now it didn't tell me on It Is On that it was immersive, and it was through my ladies' social group, and there was some ladies I'd never met before. Took them to this thing, and it was is it Platform you call it, where the actors used to be.
Yes.
And the scene in Train Spotting when Spud well, be polite, messes the sheets.
Oh yes.
So they did. They do that scene.
Oh no.
And people were getting hit with this, and they were saying, "Rachel, what did you bring us to?" And I was like, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Jeez,
but it was so you were so out your comfort zone, and you went in.
I guess that's the idea of just to be the shock value of
and the toilet scene. One of the ladies that came with me, she was a kind of older lady, and she had mobility issues, and I didn't realise that when we all went in, they sat her away in a different bit. And then I was like, oh my gosh, where is she? Has she left? Has she been offended? Has she hated it? And then she came out at the end, and she was like, yeah, so I got hit with something that came out the toilet from the toilet scene. But she was laughing, and I thought you were going to say like you hated it and you'd left or something like that. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like it's
chocolate fudge.
You don't. No,
that's what's going through my mind. What is it?
No, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really something completely different, and then we were all kind of saying like wouldn't probably been something we would go to, and I know that's extreme, and it won't be the Halloween thing won't be as extreme as that, but yeah, it was good just for something different. And I would go again.
So how far in advance do you start rehearsing?
So our first rehearsal is this Friday.
Right.
So we tend to rehearse for 3 hours because the show itself is about 50 minutes long. We all kind of, in the script there's a lot of direction, so because there's about 10 actors, there's 10 actors in this year's show. I tend to obviously I direct it as well, but in the script obviously I put a lot of direction in it so I can allow them to go into the space and just rehearse on their own, and then I can go around and direct them and things like that. But the actors that I've worked with over the past 3 years kind of know exactly what I want. I want the audience to have fun. I want as I say, Rachel, you've been before. There's a mixture of everything. There's comedy. There's scariness. There's storytelling. Jump scares and stuff like that. So there's a mixture of everything. So
I'll definitely be going. Obviously, I was surgery and all that madness.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. So definitely this. I'm going to bring my 14-year-old and scare the pants out of her.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward
honestly,
to it.
you will absolutely love it, Gavin, and I'll make sure that the actors pick on you as well.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for. Maybe not then.
And is Jenna still involved in it? So
yes.
So
Jenna's
on the obviously
she's in this one again this year. It was her first year last year.
Okay.
And she really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because she's such a big. Again, I'm not going to go into the character, but you know what character she played last year. So, and she's done such a tremendous job because she knows the character really well.
Inside out, yeah.
I could pretty much presume what type of character she'd be playing then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, it's on brand for Jenna, I'd imagine. And so we'll come in, we'll make a wee video. I know you wouldn't need a wee video to promote it, but it would be good to get a wee video for Paisley Heritage.
You guys are definitely more than welcome to.
POV of some kind.
Yeah, we actually had one of my friends brought his GoPro with him first year.
Oh, perfect.
But then I was like, can you give me the footage? He's like, I don't know what's happened to it. It's disappeared. So if you have a GoPro, you're more than welcome to bring it along.
GoPros can be quite fiddly like that.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Because the very first videos I ever done with Paisley Heritage were a GoPro video.
It's
quite weird because obviously GoPros are known for extreme sports. You know, what we're going to do today, Gavin? You're going to put me in a Falcon, or we're going extreme sports downhill? No, we're going to fill the Abbey.
Brilliant.
My poor wee GoPro was just history.
Was that the one where you went into the underground bit in the Abbey?
That's right, yes.
Yes, I remember seeing that video.
The medieval drain.
Yes.
I was the most excited. I got in the drain. I was like, I'm in the drain. I was so excited about that.
No, and that's something people really are really interested in, that drain.
Like, I was going to say.
I don't know what the plans are. Yeah. Maybe hopefully we could help somewhere along the line get that opened. I don't know if there's health and safety or legality.
Because it all has to be drained, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have
you ever seen pictures of it, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, it's
got quite a lot of mystery to it, the size of it.
Do a little immersive experience in there as well.
Oh, yes. I mean, it doesn't... So the Big Dig individuals described it as one of the most decorative monastic drains in the whole of Scotland.
Yeah.
So really for a drain...
I mean, can there really be that many?
Like all that have survived, yeah. Well, I don't know that statistic. But this one's the most decorative.
Okay,
out of them all. Out of the two.
To be fair, that drain probably doesn't flood as much as the roundabout down towards...
that's true,
yeah, down there.
But Linwood,
where Aldi is. Aldi and
Garage. Yes, I know what you mean.
That off-licence, what was that called? Millerston. Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that floods notoriously,
It's
doesn't it?
terrible.
Big job there, and it seems to go forever. The circumference of
And then
that.
there's pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures.
Again, back to the mystery of the drain. You could stand in that. You know, if you're going to spend a lot of time building a drain, you maybe make it a wee bit smaller. You know, so there's obviously urban legends of it being a tunnel. And where does it go? Obviously, the Abbey's having tunnels is not an unknown thing. So there's always been urban legends about Paisley having tunnels, but we've never really. Although you know the Holland and Barrett staff room is the Terrace Tavern.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you're going down to their staff room, you're talking about maybe 20 steps. So you start going down, and you're like, I'm still going down. It's like 2 floors under the town. And behind the walls is the 300-year-old building that is the Terrace Tavern.
So are you able to get into that?
No. It's
So
behind
how
the
did
walls.
you get in? You get in before, or did you just get into a wee?
So to not give too
nookie
many details
cranny?
because it shouldn't really. It's dangerous.
Okay,
I watched the water levels for about 6 months until it was at its lowest, and I was still waist deep, and it could be quite dangerous because it could go up and down quite quickly. And there's a path, and it's beveled. So there's not really any easy way to get in the water once you're out. So we were it was quite problematic. But no, so I found the front of it. We go through a wee hole.
Oh, wow.
I found the front. I was like, hugging it because I'd found it in Indiana Paisley that day. So it does my head in a wee bit because it's all of the heritage in one building. Because Robert Tannell's cousin owned the lease. And people used to go in from the mill to moan about the working conditions. It sold oysters as well. You could buy oysters in it.
Oh, wow. Because Paisley Prison was just behind it, right?
Just behind it, yeah.
Yeah.
So if there was one building that would bring everything together, it'd be that building. And I always think about Holland and Barrett. You know, how long's your lease going to last? Or, you know, other tourist attractions have a gift shop. Maybe we can have a Holland and Barrett, you know?
Definitely.
Because it used to be City Bakeries and other buildings after that. So it was always still, their staff room was always that 300-year-old pub. But one of the ideas I had, and the endless amount of ideas, would be to get one of these surgical cameras, like a scope, and drill a wee 5-pence coin hole and just put it behind and just have a look, just any suspected walls and just plaster it up.
I just think of a peeping Tom, and I don't like it.
Did you see that I picked up maps? There was a gentleman that reached forward. He had maps in his attic from 1830s.
Oh, wow.
So me and the kids went, are we to Johnson? I said, we're going to pick some treasure maps. But the purpose I'll be putting in that, one of my ideas was, you know how you get that TV program, Who Do You Think You Are? And it was your DNA. Yeah. I haven't thought about the title, but it was, what do you think your shop used to be? And it would, so the first half, I'm always trying to think, how do I include more businesses, you know? So the first half of the video would be talking about the business, how long's your business going on, you know, family business, yada, yada. But the second half would be, well, do you know what your business was 50 years ago? And do you know what your business was 100 years ago? And I could present it to them. And I feel that would just be an epic video series of doing every shop one after the other.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for ages, but it's just the logistics of getting the Heritage Library to tell me the information. So I've got these maps. So hopefully that's the beginning of just figuring out all these different, these endless ideas.
I know, endless.
Endless. So it's just setting the foundations and then maybe they'll all come to fruition one day. Kind of good ideas bother me. You know, that's a good idea. Why have you not done that? Yeah.
And sometimes it's only you that thinks it's a good idea.
That's true. There was a crazy scenario regards to Scotland going for the independence, right? I wasn't really, I wouldn't say which side I was, but I kind of thought when we got the no vote, I thought, that's quite a lot of energy that wanted the yes. And I wondered if there was anything that we could do with that. So I messaged the Yes Paisley Facebook page. And I said, why would we get a wee derelict bit of land and we get some surplus seeds from farmers and we could do like a wee community farm and, we could help rehabilitate homeless people and help people out of jail. And I'd organised this wee meeting, me and 7 folk. And then I said to my wife, maybe a wee Paisley farm. He's like, well, let's get this straight. You've got the history thing, you've got the gaming thing, and now you want to feed Paisley, Gavin? I don't think so. I had to phone them. I was like, well, my wife's not letting me out to play, so that never went. I had the idea, though. It could obviously take a couple of years to get the crop yields going and whatever, but 6 years down the line, you could have a wee community farm. My poor wife. Another crazy idea I had in regards to metal detector, right? Imagine, people can't really afford a really expensive metal detector. And being the history guy, people always tell me, oh, Jink, there's treasure here and there. So imagine I went to a bank and I got a 30 grand loan, right? And I went to a metal detecting place and I bought a metal detector, $29,999. For my 31 days statutory rights. I've got 31 days to find my treasure before I take it back, and it says it was my birthday and I got 2. And then I just go to another shop and I buy another one and I just rinse and repeat until but the reason I haven't done that, because then if you do find your treasure, really needs to go to the museum. So there's there's really no point in doing that.
Yeah.
So
So
anyway,
Dan, what else have you got planned for? So after Halloween and obviously your True Mismatch, what other plans have you got? Or
So I have
and ideas.
I have So we releasing the third episode of A True Mismatch fairly soon. It's very much at the very end. It's just a couple of tweaks that needs to be made for it. Needs to be done. We then start filming the fourth episode probably either towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. Again, we'll be using Paisley as our probably main location, along with other places around, because obviously there's only a certain amount that you can do.
Yeah.
I do have an idea which I can't really speak about just now, but I can probably tell you guys off air. That is something that is probably going to happen at some point, either this year or next year.
interesting.
And yeah, I'm writing a play as well.
Right, wow.
Again, I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's my experience. Well, it's a football play.
Okay.
So I'm a big football fan. I'm a big Manchester United fan. That's my team. I do try and get my arms and legs twisted to support either side of Celtic or Rangers. But I always say St Mirren. No, I do. Because I worked. Some people might know me as well as I used to be a PR in Paisley's nightlife.
Oh, okay.
In like 2012.
Many hats, Dan.
Yeah, many hats. Yeah, I used to work in Vienna's. I worked in Fury's when it was open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Fantush as well. So I was actually working in Vienna's the night that St Mirren won the League Cup in 2013, I think it was. So the team was there. So yeah, I do have a little soft spot for St Mirren, and I obviously live just off Love Street as well. So when I first moved to Scotland, I could see the old stadium, because I used to work when I first moved to Scotland. I worked at a laundrette in Love Street.
Okay.
And then, so I used to see the old stadium, and then they obviously brought the new stadium. So, but yeah, I would say I have a bit of a soft spot for St Mirren, and my manager at Slange as well, Kilts, Stephen. He's a Paisley buddy originally, and he's a big St Mirren fan as well. So.
But you're genuinely an utter credit to the town. We've known each other for a couple of years, and you've just been an epic individual. Anytime we've spoke, you've been amazing, and the things you achieve, I'm definitely inspired with the things you managed to pull off.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing.
So
I appreciate that.
And obviously, thanks very much for coming on the podcast today.
Yes,
Anytime.
Yeah.
So we'll tease a wee bit of next week's episode. And then we'll wind up.
You do the teasing, because I'm not sure what's happening next week.
Is that not the next week, the Halloween one?
Oh yes, of course.
Hear that penny drop. So we're so we're just winding up. So epically, so next week's we're on the move. We're going to be hopefully in the Coates Paisley building doing our Halloween special. We've got a paranormal investigator coming. We've got Gail to talk about the witches, and we've got a couple of phone-ins talking about ghosts in town.
Yeah.
So definitely don't miss out.
experiences.
I mean, talk about ambitious.
I've been watching that.
We're on the move now. We're taking it out of the studio and into the Coates building. So hopefully we get a couple of red LEDs, make it look nice and atmospheric. I got a smoke machine. We'll see. Wee strobe light. I don't know. Yeah. So it should be fairly epic. That paranormal investigator. I can't wait.
And again, I'm not dressing up.
We're all dressing up.
No,
I
not
told you.
dressing up.
You're already Wednesday today. You might as well just wear the same thing next week.
I don't think Wednesday wore stripes, did she?
Beetlejuice then.
Yes.
Wednesday
no, I
was
think
Was that
so.
tights? Was it tights?
Yeah.
All black. Well, okay,
Ah.
you're Beetlejuice then.
Thanks.
That's actually what I was going to get as a Beetlejuice costume. I haven't decided yet. Craig, what are you going to wear next week?
What's happening next week?
The
Halloween.
Halloween one.
The truth is, we're all so mad busy. We're averaging about 3-4 meetings a day with Paisley Heritages, and trying to keep up. It's mental.
Sometimes I don't even know what day it is. I'm like,
I deliberately grew long hair so I could lose plenty here. But that's us, episode 4. Thanks very much, Dan.
Anytime. Thank you
Yes.
for having me,
Thank
guys.
you.
Craig, it's too late. No, you can't now. No, we're not allowed.
Oh, it's
Trying to.
It's great coming in at the end here.
I mean, we have missed your presence, if I'm honest.
You do realise there's something you have to do at the end.
The song.
You've got
Oh, is that what you're here?
about 2 minutes to do it.
Okay, let's press the button.
just free,
Just
freestyle,
improvise.
freestyle, just
freestyle.
whatever.
And Rachel, don't forget, Paisley!
Oh,
Are you ready?
well, as
Go on, go
much
for
as
it.
we're going to be.
And a 1, 2, 3, 4.
All about Paisley. Paisley. All about Paisley.
Paisley.
Like or subscribe. We're just going to have to victimise all our guests and do that. You must perform.
At least I got in for the last 20
There we
seconds.
go. But you have been missed, so hopefully you managed to get on. But thanks. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for checking in. Thanks very much for Dan. Make sure you have his Eventbrite. Make sure you need to. If you don't, you'll kick yourself. And True Mismatch on Amazon Prime needs to be watched. Episode 4 coming up. It's epic. So thank you very much, Dan, and take care, everybody. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to our fourth podcast. Blah 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 blah. I'll start again. Podcast. I was going to say. Hi everyone, welcome to our fourth podcast of All About Paisley. And I can't do this today. Yeah. Maybe you should just do it, Gavin.
Shall I do it?
Yeah, just you do it. Yeah, I'm not in the right place today.